So, Sylvia, go ahead.
Welcome.
Introduce us.
I will. And this is no indication of how the IIT will go. Just wanted to put that out there first. Yeah, this is about assistant trainers at the IIT in Sweden. I'm Sylvia Haskvitz, and I'm one of the trainers. Anniken Beer is with us as well. And Joachim is also a part of the trainer team. I personally have not had assistant trainers at IITs I've been at, so I have no clue, and I'm just as curious as you are. So I'd love to hear more from those of you who have been assistants. And I'd love to know how you're wanting to contribute. And I'd like to share kind of the ways that I would find really helpful in contribution as well.
Yes, and my name is Joachim, as Anniken said, as Sylvia said, and I'm both an organizer and a trainer of this IIT. And just for your information, I'm sitting now in a shopping center in Sweden, and we are on our way home from the venue. So we are going for a 550 kilometers car ride today. So we have landed here, and hopefully it will work well for me to talk and give you the information. I give the word to Anniken.
Hello. Yes. It says on the screen that my name is Anniken. It still is. So, yes, I'm one of the trainers, as been mentioned, and I've also been a support trainer, and I've had a support trainer or had support trainers. So, and I find that extremely useful and helpful to have that as part of how the NIIT is organized, because it's such an intense and complex experience with lots of interactions and things going on. And yeah, and we want to have as much care and consideration as we can. So last year, Joachim and I were both support trainers in the Poland IIT. And on that occasion, we were actually 8 support trainers, which is 5 more than it would have been, maybe, or 4 more. It was quite a big group. And we had actually lots to do. We had our own home group as we were supporting each other, and we supported the other home groups. We were always available, some of us, in a set place if someone needed extra empathy, or there was some kind of conflict or anything not expected. So, and even one of the support trainers, she's a psychotherapist. So that was also really helpful, because when you go inside and you work on your inner life, sometimes things are stirred up that you are maybe overwhelmed with or surprised by, or yeah, you can have some sort of reaction, and to have somebody there to support you and be with you it's really helpful. And we had the support trainers organizing giraffes around the world. I think we also had a hand in the No Need for Talent show the last evening. And sometimes we even were part of holding workshops during the daytime. I remember also first evening we were doing kind of a get together for those who wanted to have some kind of playful energy to start with. So there were all kinds of different ways we could support. Like when one trainer, I need flip charts and pens all over the dining area. Can you fix that? So we also did those kind of practicalities. Do you want to add to that, Joachim?
Yes, I want to add. Yeah, speaking specifically about the Poland IIT, you could say that we are support trainers in 3 different areas. We are supporting the trainers, the certified official trainers of the IIT. We are supporting the organizers in different kind of stuff, and we are supporting the participants. And it's like I have a mindset coming into the IIT when I am a support trainer, that I want to be of service, and I have the mindset that I might miss sort of every workshop if my service is called for being mediator in a support group, or for getting some stuff that the organizers want, or helping out the trainer with anything. I'm there for them. And of course, as in MVC, we have the concept of requests, and we are free to say yes and no. So of course, we check with our energy and our willingness. But my intention coming to an IIT as a support trainer is to be of support. So for me personally, it would take a bit of a stretch to say no. I want to be there as support, and of course, things can happen, and I can be tired, and everything can happen. During the 3 IITs where I've been a support trainers, I've found it a lovely way to both attend an IIT and to be of support in many different ways. So it's a rich experience, and especially if you aim for becoming a certified trainer, or if you are a certified trainer and haven't been on a IIT as an trainer, I would say that becoming or being a supportive trainer is a very nice step to get to know the organization and how things are flowing. And I'm happy to welcome some people that didn't receive the correct Zoom link, so you are very welcome. And we are also recording this session, so you can see the beginning later on if you missed it. So we are happy to open the floor for anyone to ask any questions or any reflections. I see we have Kate here from Belgium that was on the Poland IIT. So I wonder if you want to share something about being a supportive trainer, Kate.
Yes, thank you, Jürgen. I say Jürgen. Yeah, sorry, Joachim. Okay, that's a good start. What can I say? I've been a support trainer, I think, at 4 IITs now, and it's been very, very different. So I'm also curious how the trainers see it, because in my sense, this is like the start of giving meaning to the support trainer. I've been to IITs where support trainer, we didn't do nothing, like really nothing, because nothing was needed. And the other extreme, I would say, like last time in LA, we worked really, really hard to give a lot of empathy. And I think it really supported a lot that there was like no major explosion, I would say, in the large group, because we worked so much to support behind the scenes. So for me, it would be helpful to hear from the trainers, like what would you enjoy for us to do as support trainers? So I'm giving you the ball back, Joachim.
Yeah, thank you. So because Sylvia hasn't really experienced how is it to have a support trainer during an IIT. I would like you to, what do you imagine, or what would you like help with, or what kind of support would you want to receive from a certified colleague of yours?
Thanks for the question. I guess I have a question first back to you. Are support trainers also involved in the trainer meetings? So is there that kind of connection?
Often not. In the Poland IIT, like Anniken said, some of us were invited to co-host a training with a trainer. But often I guess that the trainers are quite busy in organizing and sorting things out. So
Mhm.
They don't want to have some extra people to take care about in their daily planning, because it's quite intense, I guess, to go through an IIT.
Got it. Thank you. So, Kate, to answer your question, what would I enjoy? I guess I would love some ease. So sometimes when it's a bit overwhelming, or let's say I forget something, or I'm noticing that somebody's really needing support and I don't have the time or energy. So like you did in the LA IIT, I could imagine if people were needing that kind of support, that would be super helpful. I would think that support trainers would probably notice things before I even do of what might be needed. So just kind of another set of eyes to notice things that I might miss would be really helpful. Yeah, does that help as a start?
Yeah, yeah, thank you. And I'm also wondering that how, when we are at the IIT, how do we keep in touch? Because we're all very busy, and sometimes it's a bit a challenge to find the time. Because you guys have your meetings, and then it's finding a way to give the information back. It's not that I need to know this now, but it's at some point it would be nice to know. I was just wondering, are you aware that there's like on the CNVC website, there's an explanation of the role of support trainer? I didn't know. Do people know this here, or
Mm,
some? I can send the link here. Maybe that's helpful.
thank you. Yeah. But I can hear your request, or as far as your concern about getting the information across. I could see somebody being a liaison,
Mhm.
so being able to share the information back and forth.
Thank you.
And for practicalities, we have a WhatsApp group during the event, and we can use this, handheld microwave oven.
Mm.
Mm.
I'm just curious because I missed the beginning because I was in another room. So the why of this meeting is here just to connect with the support trainers for the IIT, or who are the people who are joining this call that would support me to be fully present?
Yeah, it's an open invitation for people, so it's not just about the support trainers during this IIT. It's for people who are curious, and maybe someone want to apply when after listening to
Okay.
this, or maybe they can watch this afterwards just for information. What would it be? Am I interested in being a support trainer or not? Or what does it take? Have I the energy or the resources to this? So it's both like an open invitation for sharing information, but also specifically if you're interested in the IIT in Sweden.
Okay. Thank you.
And I saw a question here from Viola. Would you like to phrase it openly?
Yes, but I'm outside, so I don't know if you can hear me. It's really noisy here because I didn't know that. I thought I just left the Zoom at a certain point.
I hear you very
Can you hear me
clear.
clearly?
Yes.
Well, the question is that, just a second, because I was looking at the link now, and maybe this is about, you are looking for people who support you during this workshop in Sweden, right?
It's both about how we have a few support trainers that have applied, and we haven't decided yet who's going to come. So it's both like an opportunity to show your interest, but it's also a more like general information about what does it mean to be a supportive trainer.
Okay, so because I'm not a trainer, but then I probably got it wrong, and I probably should leave the room, because my question was, I aim to become a certified trainer, which I'm not.
Yeah.
And then my question was that because I saw there are so many trainers, and I try to find people based on languages. not only just on the place where I live, but also language. But I saw there are so many people all over the world, and I didn't see like, is there a method, or and why should it be 2 years or 3 years? But probably it's not the right room to reply to this question. So I apologize if I'm making you lose time. I'm on holidays now, so probably I read it very quickly and I didn't pay attention to it.
So you're asking like the path of becoming a certified trainer, is that the question?
Yes. So yeah, I see
Yes.
I'm in the wrong room, so I should leave.
Yeah, but I can just give you very short information that on the CNBC website, you can download a document. I don't remember if it's 37 pages or something, and you can read all
Yes,
about the certification process in there. So thanks for asking.
yes, I did read that, but I still didn't have. I mean, I will then. I will contact them the contacts that are in this.
All right. Yes.
And
Thank
on
you.
June
Then.
on June the 4th, we will have a more general Q&A where you can come with all kinds of questions. And this time it's more about supportive trainers. So if that's helpful, you're welcome back at
Okay.
2 hours later than today, 6 Central European time on 4th of June.
Okay. Then I will note it down, and thank you for your time and and good luck with the workshop in Sweden.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I'd like to jump in. I'm Ellen, and it's interesting because I met Sylvia 13, 14 years ago. We were doing, it wasn't an IIT, but it was a 9-10 day retreat with Israelis and Palestinians. And what we had then, we called them assistants. And a lot of what's being shared now describes what the assistants did. And I was actually the head of the assistants. And that was a big job, working with some of the assistants. And so I loved doing that. And I then became certified via my relationship with Sylvia. And my situation is, and I teach MVC, I live in Jerusalem now. And I think I value NVC so much more than I did way back then, having lived in this situation for almost 2 years. I know, and I lived in Sweden in Stockholm, 1968 to 1970. And I remember a few words. So, and I was wanting to come back to Stockholm to see it, but I will not be available full time. So I guess my question is and I don't expect an answer now, but I just want to be transparent about it, that would you accept somebody who wouldn't be there full time? And
so I can answer from my perspective that if we have the CNDC guidelines is that we can have one certified trainer as an assistant or supportive trainer for 20 participants. And if that would be the case, I would prefer people that can join full time.
mm-hmm.
And there might be an opening to have a few more trainers
Okay.
that are coming as support. And then I would very lovely welcome you as a support trainer. So it's not just in our hands, but it's a discussion between us and the CNBC.
No, and I appreciate the need for consistency. You know,
Yeah.
so I understand that.
And I don't know about the other trainers, so that's yeah.
Well,
And my curiosity was, do you mean to stay all the days but have resting time during the day? Or is it that you will stay only half of the time or something like that?
I'd have to work that out, but I know
Okay.
it's not full time. So both because my husband is coming with me and we're escaping Israel for a while. So we want to have some other time. But the other thing is I'll be 82 in a few weeks. And my energy isn't what it was 13 years ago. So that's life. And so again, I want to be transparent of what I think I love being with people. I love supporting trainers. I love supporting participants, very much so. But I want to be upfront about my availability.
Fair enough.
And I personally would love to have you for whatever time you would want to offer, because I know you'd be a huge asset. So
Yeah.
thank you for sharing what you did.
Thank you.
I guess in your specific case, you will probably get an answer within a month or so, because we need to have a talk, of course, in the trainer team and as well with the decision team between the organizers, the trainers, and seniors.
Yeah. And what city is the training in?
It's in Hör, it's called. It's in south of Sweden, like
Is that-
50 kilometers from Malmö.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
So I see other people here as well. So I'm curious if you have any questions or if you have any experience of being a supportive trainer.
I have a question. I have just got my certification for 1 week now, and I'm in my thank you, Aniken. I'm in my final steps for completing all the paperwork and everything. And I found from Kate about this opportunity to become a support trainer for this IIT. I've been watching this event and attending another meeting that you had around this IIT, and I would really love to be there, and it would be an honor to me to be able to offer my service as a support trainer. And I'm wondering if you're open to receiving someone who's just certified.
So I can answer from my perspective. I mean, the certification is just one step in a long process. So you have been on this NDC path for a long time. So I'm not so worried about that. So it would be more like, so that we connect and we see, do we enjoy each other's company? Yeah, and I'm hearing your willingness to serve, which is very touching for me to hear. And I would also love there to be some kind of variety, that we have some people who are fresher and some people who are more experienced. I love the richness of that.
I can also answer that for me, it doesn't matter so much how long you have been a supportive trainer. It's more about the energy you have in wanting to contribute, and as Anniken said, if there are a range of people with different experiences, maybe it's not always the best thing to have a very long experience. You can come in with your new eyes and see different things. So I think you can be of support in whatever path of your journey you're in.
Thank you very much.
So I would encourage you to register as willing to be a supportive trainer, and then you're in the process. So, any more questions, curiosities, reflections?
Tova, I'm curious from your perspective, since you've been at lots and lots of IITs, and I'm guessing there weren't necessarily support trainers when you were doing those. What would have been fun for you to have gotten support? Is there a sense of?
Oh, thank you for asking that question. It's so long ago and the conditions were so different, since I was kind of an assistant trainer to Marshall. I realize, and that's why I'm here, just to sniff how different it is these days. And what would I have liked? We had very hectic program. We had very large groups. I would have loved to have had somebody beside me now and then as a because we did our own sessions. Marshall did the main sessions, and then we came in and made our sessions, and it would have been nice to have been two now and then. And also when it comes to practicalities, I was so surprised. I hope it's better these days that there was hardly any preparations when it came to practicalities for us. I didn't understand that I was supposed to bring my own tape and scissors from Sweden if I was good. So kind of having access to somebody who could do whatever came up for us. But Marsha was a focused person, and there was not very much happening when it came to people with kind of conflicts beside what was going on in the main room. Marsha took care of that mainly. He wanted it to be brought up to the surface and deal with it. So does that answer your question?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
You recognize it. You have been there as well.
Yeah, not as long as you have, and probably way fewer IITs. So I was curious because we were kind of around before there was such a thing as assistant trainers. And I too remember several IITs where Marshall was kind of the main focus. So he was the one that really held the space.
Yeah.
And we were kind of, the few people that didn't want to see him came to the other trainers' workshops. But it was a very different way of doing an IIT. And there were way less of this. I've got to check with CNBC. Like, if you want to come, we'll figure it out. So there was also much more flexibility, not as many of the guidelines that are kind of in place today.
He made the decisions straight on the spot.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Very interesting.
I have a question. As I don't know how many participants you have so far that have registered, but where are they coming from? Is it all in Scandinavia? Is it Europe? Is it where?
So I asked my co-organizers, Amy, who is in communication with all the participants and all the registered ones. And as far as I remember, we have a couple of people from the US. We have one person from China. We have one person from Taiwan. And then we have people from, of course, Sweden, Finland, Norway, Denmark, Poland, Belgium, Switzerland. Father Chris from Sri Lanka, of course, and Shona from Britain. And there might be a few other countries as well, but they're quite diverse. So.
Thank you.
Rita, you're going to be there, right? Rita lives in Taiwan and her husband, Johnny. Yeah.
Yes.
Yay.
Yeah, we're trying to book the flight.
Yay. I think the other part.
And I have actually a question for Henrik, because I'm going to step down as an organizer during the IIT and become one of the trainers. So I will have nothing to do with the organization on spot. And we have Henrik here, who is one of the organizers that would be there and take care of all of you. So, Henrik, from an organizer perspective, do you have any thoughts of what would you like to have from a supportive trainer?
Yeah, thank you, Joachim. I guess what's coming out spontaneously are the things I'm remembering from the only IIT I've been to before was the one in Finland a couple of years ago. Just trying to compare. So what I would expect based on that one would be maybe that supportive trainers help out. We have these morning offerings, so participants can offer something short in the morning session. So to coordinating a little bit, like there's like one participant offering one thing every morning. So kind of keeping that together. And then there's also the evening sessions, like different people might want to offer things in the evenings. This could also be a bit like what is on what day could be facilitated by a supportive trainer. And then of course, like maybe the most important role of a supportive trainer is supporting home groups in if there are like yeah, it can be a very emotional experience, this course, and you get put into groups with maybe you don't know everyone, so there can be tension sometimes. So some groups might need support from a trainer, and then it's great to have like some supportive trainers. One of them can come and support groups that are having challenges. And there's also the no talent show in the end of the course. So there are also some need for some support in coordinating, I would say. So these were just some of the things that are coming up to me, remembering how Finland was and how we use supportive trainers there. Otherwise, there's like there was a very good link shared in the chat by someone, and I opened it up and looked a little bit during the meeting. Now there are like 10 points there we could look at closer, but they are, some of them are similar to what I just shared. So are there some questions or reflections, reactions coming up to what I just said?
Thank you, Henrik. I would just maybe like to add that there's also the Giraffes Around the World evening where we could support to organize it. And then I have a request for the trainers, because I was a support trainer in in an IIT where our home group, we weren't together as support trainers. We were scattered in all the home groups. And that was not something that I enjoyed, if I'm honest, because in my understanding, you also need a moment where you are held as a support trainer. And I was at other IITs where with the support trainer was together, like for example, Joachim and Annika, we were in Poland. We were 8, and I remember at the beginning thinking, oh, this is going to be fun. It was really amazing, and we held each other amazingly. So please, can we be together? That's really helpful. I don't know if it makes any sense for the people that have the experience, but that is really a strong request from my behalf.
You need your own giraffe.
Will be an advocate for that, Kate, so you will not end up being the only support trainer in a home group. So you will be with other support trainers. That's on my not a strong request list, but more like a demand list.
Yeah, I wouldn't go that far because I don't know all of you here, but it was just around the corner. Yeah, and I was surprised that how much I needed, because at the beginning I didn't realize it was, oh, it's fine, let's be in a home group, we'll see. But no, it was really tough. So thank you. I hear that lands and resonates. So
yeah, and I also love this because I might have this thought of my own, but when I hear it from other support trainers, it's re-encourage what I want to create. So thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
So Kate, I've heard what you've done as a support trainer, but I'm curious what's been fun for you? Like what's been the joy for you in contributing? Was there certain areas that you really like to offer or like to be present for?
For me personally, I really love role play. This is something that I really enjoy doing. And co-creating some workshops with trainers was really joyful as well. And I also enjoy when on the spot something was happening and that some participant needed more empathy or needed care, and then you can very subtle in a way, take care of people, that's something that I really enjoy as well.
Thank you.
Um,
And was
yeah.
was that different than the Empathy Angels? I don't know if you guys did that at the IITs.
Yes.
So you were, yeah, you were in
Yeah.
addition. Mhm.
Because in my understanding, empathy angels are not always the people with the most experience, but they have the biggest heart. They really want to contribute. And sometimes by wanting to contribute too much, well, then you're not always busy with the needs of somebody else, but just busy with, showing off how big your empathy angel sign or whatever it is. And that might be overwhelming for some people sometimes. So yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, I can share some perspective of what I love being a supportive trainer. It's you're not the you're not the trainer of the IIT and you're not the participants. So at least for me, I have some kind of meta perspective. I can zoom out a little bit from my own experience, for example, in the community meeting, and I have an extra attention and an eye and look at people, and if a trainer says something that might be a bit controversial or something, I can sort of see reactions of people around me and sort of track a little bit what's happening with different people. And then I can also talk with my supportive trainers. And if some of them have seen something similar, sometimes we can, okay, so we can approach a participant just friendly, ask them, how are you doing here? And is there anything of that you have any concern of or something like that? So we can be this subtle, not this always obvious supportive, but be floating around a little bit and not being so occupied with our own processes, but being there for others. That's, for me, that's really good.
Mhm. Yeah, I can second that. And the other thing I just thought of, when we were in those retreats, we had a liaison from the supportive trainer, the assistant, to the trainers, because there were often very breakdowns when the trainers weren't quite aware of what we had seen and what we're experiencing. And it was very helpful. And also, everybody's a human being and everybody wants to be heard or seen. And sometimes that can be an issue with the supportive trainers or things that are happening. And just to have somebody that has the responsibility to communicate appropriately to the trainers team when necessary.
I just want to add one last thing is that there in a lot of other, well, I'm also a coach, and there's like this very clear, when you want to become a trainer, there's a path. First, you need to be assistant a couple of years, and then, it's very clear. And sometimes I miss in this in VC community, like you're a trainer at an IIT, but how do you move forward? How do you grow in that role? It's huge. And I think this is a wonderful opportunity to grow and be held and experiment. Because once you are a trainer, I've seen some trainers when it's the first IIT, it's really overwhelming. And I'm sure that if I had to be at one as a trainer, it would be overwhelming as well. So I would love to have support. So it's also something of building community together in ways. Yeah. Thank you.
Anything waiting to be said? I'm curious. Anniken, can you say what you receive, like being a supportive trainer? What's in it for you?
Yeah, it's a little bit what you mentioned, that you are in this between role. You get to connect with the trainers, not so much, but from time to time, and there is this, yeah, that they are curious to hear what we have to say, that they're open to that and wanting that our perspective. Yeah, I loved how we cared for each other in our own little space, those bonds that we held, and we were all, quite experienced in being certified trainers or holding our own workshops. So we have those skills also to, yeah, to create a safe atmosphere. And even when there were some maybe disagreements or something happening, we could also hold that, celebrating that. And how we found, yeah, we were always looking for solutions. So this solution focused way of being together. Okay, so if you go there and I go there, and then we do that. It's like really a sense of being a team. I so enjoy that. And I haven't tried what it's like to be only 3 support trainers in a big IIT. So I can imagine it can be different also. It was sort of a luxury situation. And for me, I did it because I wanted to experience what it's like to be a support trainer. I had already been trainer at 2 IITs when I came there. So it was for also have that perspective so that I know what it's like when I'm back in the role of a trainer, or what it can be like at least.
Joachim, I'm curious about CNBC about what so I get that there's one support trainer for every 20, and I also understand that support trainers pay for their own room and board. So other than taking a space that could be a participant space, I'm curious what would be CNBC's concern about having more versus fewer, because they're paying their own, they're just not paying tuition, but they're paying everything else. Can you help me understand?
Part I can't answer everything. Part of it is like, okay, if there might be people who want to be supportive trainers that might want to come anyway, and then there is less income for the organizers and for CNBC if we are letting in too many supportive trainers that otherwise might want to come and contribute with their finances. So that's one thing. Otherwise, I don't really, I haven't understood why there would be any resistance if they are not taking any like paid participants place. So that's
Thank you.
Maybe someone else know.
Hi, I understood when I talked to Marie-Laure about it, but it's already a couple of months ago, is that there's also like pro rata, like if you have too many support trainers and they want to have some kind of balance between how many participants and how many support trainer. So it's kind of a ratio to support that. But I guess if the organization really wants more, I cannot imagine that they wouldn't be willing to dialogue about it. This is how I remember it.
Thank you.
And I also wanted to contribute to some more about what's in it for me being a supportive trainer on an IIT. And as a trainer, my experience is you're quite alone with your work. You are doing your workshops and you have participants. Maybe you have one colleague or maybe one support trainer with you or something. But this is a chance to meet like a few other experienced certified trainers. You meet them in home groups. You get really quality empathy time. And I can't say that I get that in my sort of everyday life. And here you have the chance to have that on an ongoing base for 9 days. So that's really a beautiful gift to be able to, and also to meet people you haven't met before. Like I met Kate on the Poland IIT for the first time as a supportive trainer. Now she will come again and be a supportive trainer for me. So that's like, wow, how great isn't that?
Something that I would like to add, and thank you, Joachim, is I sense that sometimes the threshold to talk to trainers for participant is quite high. And as a support trainer, we're sometimes like the bridge between, it's easier for some people to talk to us. And I mourn that, honestly. I wish it was easier for everyone to talk to everyone. And sometimes, well, I do remember as a participant, the idea of talking to a trainer was, no, no, no. My first IIT, I think I would have done anything except talking to the trainer. And it was easier to talk to a support trainer because they had less this authority for me. So I guess that's also a way to support people in growing that awareness. But I don't know if that resonates for some people here.
I'm sad to hear that, and I understand.
Yeah. It is sad.
Yeah, I resonate with that, and I also understand because sometimes in some IITs the trainers are not super happy, and it's all flowing. They have they are humans, so they have their own processes. So it might also be a bit burdensome if people come and expect some empathy or something from a trainer. So I can understand this a bit of hierarchy. So yeah, it's much easier to approach a support trainer as a participant. And we also come from different cultural backgrounds where, yeah, for example, I'm a Swede, so I can make fun of trainers, like during the non-talent show, for example. For some people, even from in Sweden, but for other cultures, it might be more like, oh, you respect the elders, you respect the trainers, you don't approach them. So it's a challenge to be as open and also to take care of your own needs and what you want to give to be able to have your resources to be able to give to participants. So it's a balance, I guess. Okay, we have a few minutes left, and I'm very happy to hear anything else or any reflections, or what have you learned, or what do you look forward to, or anything that has come up within you during this talk. Sylvia, for example, do you have any more clarity now when it comes to supported trainers and your relation to them?
Yeah, thank you. I do. And it was helpful, Kate, to hear what you shared, because I was right after you, the LA IIT. We came in for the first generation retreat, so it was kind of fresh. So that was fun to hear. And yeah, I think I feel some grief about the whole hierarchical piece, because I just had a conversation with somebody recently about that. And like, how do we actually just show up as humans with each other rather than somehow the labels? And so, yeah, so some grief coming up about that. But yeah, thank you. I have a much better understanding. And I'm also thinking about some fun possibilities, like how could that support be mutual, and how could we play in a way that might be more fun for everybody around these roles?
I would like to say something that when I heard Kate say it's a bridge and there might be some authority issues, that's really surprised me. Yeah, I thought the supportive trainers it will be there for helping because all the certified trainers are busy, and not because of the communication channel. So I hope, I wish that this IT won't have this kind of problem issue. Thank you.
Thank you. And because I've been a supportive trainer on 3 IITs, and now for the first time I will be a trainer on an IIT. I actually have some suggestions. I want to include the supportive trainers more. I want to invite them to a meeting with us trainers beforehand, because to get to know each other and to be more like a community thing going on. So I think we can smooth out these kind of hierarchies, and at the same time, I think it's like part of being a human as well, that some people have more knowledge and some people have less. And so, but to ease that difference and make it more easily to approach each other, I think that's a great thing. To also acknowledge that, well, this is sort of part of the human conditions, that we have different roles in different settings. And if we would meet each other on another place, on another time, we might have different roles. If I would come to Henrik's workplace where he's the boss, for example, he has another role than here when he's more like a supporter. So yeah, I like this exploration of our human relation.
I'm guessing also that the trainers at the IIT could be quite busy during the day, preparing workshops, holding workshops, and then there are also trainer meetings. So then I'm guessing that supporting trainers, they have more time to answer questions from participants in breaks, for example, whereas an official trainer might need the break, to prepare the next workshop, and then a supportive trainer could have that time to answer questions or offer empathy or anything, any answer to requests from participants. So I guess there's the question of time, available time and capacity also.
And I'd like to thank you all for organizing this session, which has been extremely helpful for me in bringing more clarity for me of what this role is about. And I was very determined in the beginning to apply for this role, and now this only reinforced my determination. And also it brought me more awareness of the responsibility of this role. And seeing you all here on the screen also brings me some closeness to you, which I'm very grateful for. And so thank you.
Yeah, thanks for sharing. Very lovely to hear you.
And I heard Sylvia speaking about fun. I think this is major and massive important to bring fun and lightness. And sometimes in the role of support trainer, there's much space to bring fun and joy and laughter. So that's so very, very important. Yeah. And I hear that Sylvia is a tennis specialist here. So
Well, I wanted to mention that because as assessor, as the role of also of assessor, that's to me something really important, because we want to get out of the paradigm of the jackal consciousness, where somebody has this kind of power and somebody else doesn't. So if I look at myself as a tennis coach, which I'm not, but if I had those skills, I might have a few more skills in that area than you, but it certainly doesn't mean anything else about me as a human being.
It's a difference between fear of authority and respect for authority.
Amen.
Yes, so any other final word or a checkout for people? Some people would be nice before we end the call.
just maybe to finish, what is the amount of support trainers that you would enjoy for now, and how many have applied? Do we have some clarity how you want to move forward? It's just for me to be helpful.
I have a clarity, and I don't know if I have managed to put that forward to my fellow trainers.
Okay.
But we have like 4 trainers now that we would make a decision on. So
Thank you. 5.
yeah, 5 coming up. Yes. Thanks. All right. Time is 5 o'clock. So here, maybe it's another time. At least for Sylvia, it's another time. I don't know where else of you are. Rita may be in another time zone as well. So thank you very much for joining this session, and hope to see you apply for being as a supportive trainer or just coming as a participant of this IIT. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing you all. So bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Thank you for
Bye-bye.
coming.
Recording stopped.
Jag ska bara hitta knappen här.